Like I started off, family, it don't matter what your religion is. It's not about that. We gotta come together no matter what. We gotta help each other no matter what. If we don't, then our whole civilization, all of our people of color, will be destroyed. And that will be the first time in history that it ever happened. As we're about to read in the story of Exodus, it starts talking about how the oppressor had made a plan to destroy all the men in Israel. But we already know that they got a plan out here to destroy all the men. The story in the book of Exodus is very much like the story of today's time that we're going through today.
This prophet didn't say, well, you got to go get me a certain type of food. He said, I'm not eating nothing in this place because y'all are idolaters. Said, I'm not eating nothing in this place because y'all are idolaters. May the Most High be praised. Shabbat Shalom, family. Welcome back to another Shabbat day.
Shabbat Shalom.
Beulah land at Temple Kephirim.
What a tagline.
Say it again.
I said, what a tagline that is.
Yeah. Interesting, huh? Interesting.
Yes, I will walk in thy truth. Unite my heart to fear thy name. Oh, I will praise thee.
Go ahead, I can't hear it. A little bit louder.
Glorify thy name. For thou art great, yes, and doest wondrous things. Thou art great and do 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 wondrous things.
Right. May the Most High be praised. From everlasting to everlasting. Let's do this. Shabbat Shalom, Ashley B. Shabbat Shalom. May the Most High be with thee. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Sister Aisha, Shabbat Shalom. Aim Katir, Shabbat Shalom. Sister Laurel, Shabbat Shalom. Ima Sukari, Shabbat Shalom. Mr. Otter, Shabbat Shalom. Brother Asa, Shabbat Shalom. Sister Esther, Shabbat Shalom. All right. Who else up in the house? Sister Ornette, Shabbat Shalom. Sister Shemaiah, Shabbat Shalom. Ima, Shabbat Shalom. Ima Havared, Shabbat Shalom. Sister Carol, Shabbat Shalom. Who else in the house? Who else over there in the house? Brother Gabriel, Shabbat Shalom. All right. If I forgot anybody, please forgive me. Please forgive me. If I forgot anybody, please forgive me. I do my best, the very best I'm able to do. So today is another Shabbat day. The weekly Shabbat day. A Shabbaton, where you do absolutely no work. You sit back, you relax, you take it to the head, and you relax and enjoy life. But you know, we Israel, with so many differences that we have, we find a reason not to sit back and enjoy life. So let's talk a little bit. Shabbat Shalom, Aim. Let's talk a little bit, family. Tell us about your Holy Week. Your holy month. We had a very interesting holy month this month. This month is over now. The holy season is over now. The next holy day is Pesach, Yom Pesach, which will be in either May or March. We haven't figured it out yet. We got to do the calculations to determine the first new moon of the year. And then 14 days from that is the Pesach. Sister Laurel, Shabbat Shalom. So, Ima, you came on camera. I'm assuming you want to talk now. You want to talk? Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, Sister Higdalia and Brother Kezu, Shabbat Shalom. Kazu, Shabbat Shalom, my man. Practice 225, 2025, Shabbat Shalom practice. May the Most High be praised. All right, let's go, y'all. Let's go. So let's talk. Did you want to take the mic, Iman? Talk? No? Okay. Well, I want to know about everybody's Holy Week. Who would like to tell us about what you experienced, your Holy Week, your Holy Month, how the month was to you, what you enjoyed, the going ins and outs and everything up and around, what you experienced, what you learned, what you saw. Anybody want to come to the screen? All you got to do is hit the link and you can go to the screen and see what's going on. Ishi, can you go to the front door and just peek out the front door and make sure everything is all right on the porch in front of the house? Just peep out the front door, make sure everything is good.
Sure.
Neighbors are calling me.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. He texted me. He said he need to borrow the water hose. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Oh, he can. Well, he must got his own water because the water ain't on. But anyway, like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Come on, y'all. Tell me about your month. Who wants to be first? Who wants to be first to tell us about the holy month that they experienced this month? Anybody? Anyone? No one? All right. So nobody wants to talk about their holy month.
I can.
Okay, you want to do it? Okay, you go. You got it.
Thank you. My holy month. Let's see. My holy month, was I guess it was just a beautiful experience. I did a raw fast with my family the whole month of September to prepare for Yom Kippurim. And after that was our celebration of Sukkot. And that was also beautiful. We didn't have a lot of people per se, but we had our beloved elders with us, and it was beautiful to celebrate with them and just be in their presence as it always is, whether it's just whether it's a holy Shabbat day or an actual holy, season for a few days. I enjoyed being around them and just soaking up their knowledge and love, especially for our son, baby Kez, being around elders. That was beautiful. Um, I unfortunately did have to return halfway through Sukkot because of work, and I was telling my Ish, like, okay, I'm glad that I actually didn't want to go back. I said I'm sad that I'm going back. I actually wanted to stay the whole time, and you know things will be changing for us moving down there soon. So I know I won't have to deal with that much longer, but um yeah, I'm just glad that we had the celebration. I think next year, rather we do, I think next year we should probably keep that fast as a family. I just think it's a very, very spiritual cleansing, physical cleansing, and it's just a very intentional thing to do. I liked it, and it made me really think about my relationship with food and um, sugar. I immediately start to when the fast is over, I started eating, other things that I normally eat, and I'm more conscious about when I'm eating, how much I'm eating, when I'm eating, how much I'm eating, and I immediately I noticed like, oh wow, sugar is an addiction. Because cereal has sugar in it, certain things just have sugar in it. And when you do a fast without any of that stuff, you just feel more free. Of course I was more hungry, and that's that. But um you just start to really see like how your body adapts to certain foods and what it feels like eating certain foods. And I can already tell the difference with sugar being added back into my diet through, like I said, granola bars, cereal, things like that, right? And it's like all you can think about is sugar. It really is an addiction. It really is. And so that is a big thing. I always known it was an addiction, but just to witness it in my own body after such a big fast is very eye opening. It's crazy, but I'm glad I had the opportunity to do it. I think we should keep doing that every year. I think that's a wonderful thing to do. Um, and the opportunity to hold Yom Kippurim with my Ish and my loved ones. I think it's a major blessing to be able to make it to our high holy day, Yom Kippurim, to be able to come before the Creator, prostrate before Him, and announce our sins and rebuke the spirits upon us. But I think not only is Yom Kippurim our high holy day, where the Most High allows us to come before Him in such a magnitude, but I think daily, daily repentance to the Creator, making decisions daily that are good for your soul to the best of your ability is also what's important. Like that should be the pattern um leading to Yom Kippurim, not just doing whatever you want and waiting for Yom Kippurim to say you're sorry. I don't think that Yom Kippurim is supposed to be a day of it's supposed to be a day of like, covering it without any mindfulness of what you've done. I don't think that's the purpose of the day. The purpose of Yom Kippurim to me is to actually sit with yourself and acknowledge what you've done and make the decision, an active decision to remove yourself from the impurities, whatever they may be. And if you struggle with them in more than one occasion, the decision just has to be made like, okay, I'm going to repent and not deal with this anymore to the best of my ability, or you are. So it's just, I think it's a high holy day of reflection and just making that decision to be better and to not revisit sins again. So I'm grateful for Yom Kippurim, for the opportunity to have that covered, but in the right way, in consciousness and in righteousness. Um, so yeah, that's what I've gathered this holy season. I'm great, but the fast has definitely been the most shifting thing because it was a thing that we did in preparation, and the first year that I've done that. And I'm appreciative for it. It really helped my body and it helped my mental. So that's what I've gathered this holy season. I'm looking forward to it starting all over again in Nabi. Shalom.
May the Most High be praised. Rabah. Yom Kippur it was a very interesting day. Absolutely. But if you notice, this whole month has been a Kippur. Kippur. Yes. Anyone else want to talk about their Holy Week? Anyone else? You guys on the sideline, you can type it in the room or you can take the link. We did put the link up where you can come on and speak your piece. If you want to say anything about your Holy Week, your Holy Month. If not, we're going to move forward. All right. So we like to thank the Most High. Anyone would like to thank the Most High at this time? We're going to move forward to get to class.
I can go.
All right.
I just
I had to make sure he's good. Um, Giving all praise, all honor, all glory to the Creator. Thanking the Most High for a beautiful, holy month, basically. It was very, it was a lot going on. Sorry, y'all. I'm kind of trying to make sure he's okay. Um, there was a lot going on and a lot to get ready for, as always. Um, of course, as my sister wife said, we who was here was a blessing. It's always a blessing to be amongst our elders. It's always a blessing just to be able to be in the midst of the Creator, um, in whatever fashion that He places us in, however many people that He brings together with us. Um, Yom Kippur is always one of the days that I look forward to. One, because it's just it's so different from all the other holy days. The meaning of it is so much more than I even think what we have come to understand. And I think every year the Most High opens our heart and our minds to know more and more about that day and to learn more and more about ourselves during that time as well. Um, and yes, the fasting, of course, definitely helped. The last 5 days of our raw fast, well, actually, our raw fast ended the end of September. And then for me, I did just a water fast for 6 days from the end of that day till to the end of the beginning, the first day of Sukkot. And it was very different for me. I haven't done just a water fast. I've done like liquid fast before and things like that. But the water fast, I saw a lot of things in myself that were purging through that fast in those 6 days. And it really, truly just invigorated me to want to do more. I was able to find strength within my own self during that time, even when I felt weak, um, to keep going and to find different ways to ask the Creator to give me energy to do the things that I had to do, because regardless of the fast, I still had to cut grass. I still had to go pick up elders, 2 hour drives to Atlanta, 2 hour drives back. We still went and got all the food for the holy days. We did have quite a few people said they were coming. And then um, of course, getting abundance of food and preparation, all those things. Um, but like I said, during that fast, at one point I was like, "Oh, I feel so weak," and then I just prayed to the Creator to give me strength to continue to move forward and not break my fast, but the strength to do the things that I needed to do in that during that time. And then it also, made me appreciate part of the fast my Ish was doing, which was just liquids that whole month, and seeing how, yeah, you can get really replenished from energy, but it truly is a conversation. It's a mental battle, honestly. That's what I felt later. Like it was really mental, because we look at like, oh, we need this food to give us energy. And really the energy is in you. Your body has to kind of like acclimate itself to what you've done to it, to change it, to give it, to pull the energy from different sources in your body, because the water itself is going to give you energy. And you just have to learn mentally how to, move that water around, in so many words, to the places that it needs to replenish and give you energy. So I'm grateful to the Creator for providing. I'm always grateful for all His traveling mercies. There was a lot of traveling being done during this month, within our family. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for um, elders and just having those moments with them, together and separately, to be able to have deep conversations. I met an elder and she, held my hand the entire time I met her, and she just poured life into me. And I was, doing this fast, and she was just like, so many things she said to me that and it's our first time meeting, and it just gave me so much strength in it, and also helped to keep me grounded, understand my mission, my job that the Creator has me on, and learning to not allow anything to dismay me from that job, but to give me the strength to push forward regardless of whatever else is going on around us. So I'm grateful for that humbling moment, for that grounding moment that the Most High presented me with. I'm super grateful for just the time to be able to be on the land, to live in the booths, to be amongst the elements of the earth. During some of the nights were a little colder than others, some was warmer than others. It was just the whole vibe was so great. Setting the fires, helping each other to learn better on how to maintain the fire, and just the work that we did together. This was the first time we had a holy day where Maish was the only male, uh, grown male. We have our baby here, but he's a baby, and it was just us sisters and elders, and we actually gathered wood. We chopped wood with the machete. We, uh, ripped down some old trees that were coming down, and it was just beautiful for us all to work together to get it done. And even baby Kaz was out there picking up sticks and acting like he was helping, hitting the sticks with his stick to chop and mimic us with the machete. So, um, you know, I look at all those things as life lessons because every year something changes in how we do something. And it taught me, or not even taught me, but reminded me of the strength of women, who we are, our purpose in this walk and this life. And it just reminded me that no matter what people say about how women aren't supposed to do this or that, when we have to do something, we have to do it. And the Most High is going to make provision and allow it to be. So I'm definitely grateful for, that, because sometimes we need that reminder. And then also, it's just a reminder that, why'd you do that? One second. Think better here. Um, it's also just a reminder that, we have to be able to be prepared to do with or without at times. And that was also a lesson that I felt like, I don't know if everybody else learned or even thought about, but for me, like, it's a time that we just have to always be ready to be prepared no matter what's going on again. um and then, yeah, it was just, we went to a unity Shabbat, well, two of them. And it was, the first one was a new service, and it was beautiful to reconnect with, brothers and sisters that I've known for over 10 years. And just, and my Ish has known them, and bring my sister wife and our baby for them to get to know them and our elders. So that was beautiful. Then we went to visit another community that we, used to be frequently with, and it was different, definitely. But I do appreciate the Most High for allowing it to take place, because things, happen for a reason. And I'm grateful that the Most High just gave me the strength to move through that part of that day, with anxiety and strength, and allowing our elders to be there, and to partake, and to get and gain from what they gain from it. It was enjoyable. The lessons, there was a few deep lessons that were taught that day. And of course, it's always a rejoicing to praise the Most High with brothers and sisters. um, yeah, I know I'm long-winded, but it was a lot going on this month. Um, and then, like my sister wife, she said she had to leave, so baby Kez is here with myself and our Ish. And for me, I haven't had a baby this small in my presence, that I had to like be hands on in years. So so it's been something too, and I find myself calling him all my son's names that I've LP, Evan, Kalfani, because it's just all coming back to me at once. But it's been a pleasure just bonding with him and getting him, in his seeing him in his element and growing. So I'm thankful for the Most High for all the gifts that He has blessed us with as a family, myself with, and I pray that He continues to bless us and watch over us and guide us, and even for allowing us to have the accomplishments that we've had on the land this month through this holy season. So many great things, you all. And we're gonna keep you all updated as much as possible. And but it's a blessing, and prayerfully one day all those that have not been able to come visit will be able to come visit and partake, and actually understand why we feel so blessed to be in the midst of this land that the Most High has gifted unto us to develop, not just for ourselves as individuals, but for the community and the nation as a whole. So Zehu, I guess my thankfuls is all in that. I don't think I have to do a separate thankful, but all praises, all glory, all honor to the Creator for this day. As always, thankful to my parents, thankful to my Ish, my family, and just for life. Zehu.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabah. May the Most High be praised. All right. Let's see where we at now.
Oh, I saw M. Keter had one. I'm sorry. I could read it.
Okay.
All right. M. Keter says, my holy month was enlightening. I learned that new things about Yom Teruah, being a loud noise. I'm not sure what that was. And witness the covering and blessings of the Most High upon my Beulah family. And I'm sorry, the people who could fly. I think this Sister Angel said, Shabbat Shalom. I'm grateful for living and learning. And Sister Wife said, Baby Kez was truly out here helping us gather sticks for the fire. Yeah, he was. And the Queen of Kimya says, Toda Rabah for an awesome time, much increase. Hallelujah.
Can I reiterate something?
Yes.
I want to say how thankful I am to also witness Baby Kez do what he was doing, being such a help to us in various points of Yom not Yom Kippur, Sukkot. There were two moments that stick out to me when he was helping gather sticks for the fire with all the women and driving that is it an ATV, I think, helping drive the ATV with my sister wife and Aim Sukari, and he was just really into it. He was just in his element, touching the dirt, grabbing the sticks. But he there were multiple times where he found sticks that were just his size, and he would hold on to them. And Aim Kitera called it his little sword. He had his little sword with him. And at one point, we were all the women in general. We were taking the thorns off of the fire pit, and um, Zakena Laurel was taking the thorns off of the Knesset. We were really getting it because we were just tired of them things. They had to come down. They really did. And we got to it, and Zakena Laurel and Baby Kids actually were doing it together. He was over there helping her. Um, ain't scared, never scared. And then another one that stood out to me, moment that stood out to me with Baby Kez, Appa, when he went to meet you in the darkness, he saw you go down that little dark path. I have no idea how far you went, but he saw you, and I remember it was dark outside. It wasn't really light. Maybe there was a little bit, but I know it was dark. And he followed you throughout that dark path, and it just really made me, realize that being scared is, I'm not saying it's not natural, but it's also something that's taught. And I pray that our son not never feel scared. I don't want to say never because I know that's a natural emotion with certain things, but we teach him. He keeps that spirit of fearlessness within him at all ways throughout all time. I always tell him whenever we go down there. I always tell him and remind him, like, this is your land, this is your land, this is your inheritance, and I believe that he is really starting to grow into his own when it comes to that point of him knowing the land, getting used to the land, and just knowing that that's his home, and there's nothing to be afraid of. So I pray that that spirit of fearlessness and not being scared stays with him throughout his his um his life journey. And if he does feel the spirit of fear, that we as a family and the creator teach him how to work through that and to never be captivated by it. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. So I have something I want to share with the family.
Oh, it was sorry.
Go ahead. You go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
M. Keter says, oh wait, before Autumn, just to tell you, I was telling Abba yesterday, I'm in the kitchen with the baby, and he starts screaming, and I look, and he is screaming because a daddy long leg is crawling up his leg. And I stood there, I was like, what are you screaming for?
Oh my gosh.
It was just so funny because I've never seen him scream like that.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And he just looked, and he stopped screaming as soon as I grabbed it. And he looked at me like, what are you doing touching that thing? But,
right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
See, that's how you teach him. He was being taught not to fear this thing. And don't be afraid of it. Because when you picked it up and showed him and threw it out, see, now next time it happened, he's learned. And that's how we have to teach our children. Shabbat shalom, Sister Gare. Shabbat shalom. Tell the family I said shalom, please. All right, Iman, will you finish?
Oh no, Enki's here. Enki's here says, the moral support is so vital when struggling through commitments made to the Most High Himself. At Princess Madaya, all praises to the Most High. Toda Rabah. Zaquina LaRose said there was another part to her message, but I just let her know that it's not up here. So hopefully she'll put it up here and I'll read it once she does. So, Zehu.
All right. So this is what I want to share. You know, we've been making a lot of progress on the land and in the community, and we've been doing a lot of things. I want to play the video, and then I want to tell you what we're seeing. Now, what that was a video of us getting a well put in on the land. They were putting a well in so that we can have well water to supply the houses, the land, everything, wherever the farm, wherever we want to send it to, we can send the water now. We don't have to rely on the government's water or the city's water any longer. We have our own water supply, and we're going to, for each house, we're going to have our own water supply, well water. So my family was both speaking earlier about how the Most High has been blessing us with so many things. I think that's one thing that we shouldn't leave out. That's something that's worth mentioning. Another thing, we don't want to tell y'all everything you'll see when you get here. But I wanted to share that part because I need you all to understand the importance of self-sufficiency. It is extremely important that we be self-sufficient and not rely on this system for everything that we have. Like right now, if we get hungry, we'll starve. Because if the city's shut down, the stores and the supermarkets shut down, what are we going to eat? And where are we going to get our water from? Because if you drink the water out the faucet, you're getting sick real soon. The majority of us are now drinking bottled water where we go to the stores to buy. While all of the years that I've been going to the store buying bottled water, I now got a whole bunch of empty bottles waiting for the time when we got a well so we could fill up them empty bottles and I could take that water back to Philly with me and wouldn't have to buy bottled water at the store anymore. That's what I've been waiting for. And we're at that place right now. They got to come on and put the pump on so that the water comes out, hook the electric to it. And then we have our own well water. So I'm grateful. I'm super grateful with so many things that the Most High has been doing for us in this last month. That's why we went on that fast. Well, that's why I went on my fast to thank the Creator because I knew doors was opening and I knew ways was happening and I knew things was taking place. And I would just show my appreciation to the Creator by giving back to Him something that He didn't require of us. So now we got a well. That's not the first well. That's the first well we get to use. We have an old well on the land around the corner somewhere, but we don't even know if that works. So before the people leave, I'm gonna have them check it out to see if it works. If it works, we'll have two. If you have land, you should definitely get a well. Definitely, most definitely get a well. And I was told by the guy who digged the wells that even if you live in a city and you got a little plot of dirt around you, you can get a well. So we'll see. We'll work on that. But I'm grateful that the Most High has blessed us with that now. This is the another major step in the progress of our independence, our self-sufficiency. We're doing the very best we can, and I see it all as coming together, slow motion, but it's all coming together. And it comes together in the Creator's time. Not necessarily when we want it to happen, but in His time, it happens. So now we're getting the well in, and I'm grateful. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah.
Amen, y'all. Can I also I forgot to I want to just say happy birthday to all of our birthday people during the holy season. My Ish, our daughter Hadassah, one of the first baby that was born on our land, Avia, she turned 1. And then on the 10th was my sister wife's birthday, her 30th, and then my daughter turned 25. And then on the 16th was another daughter of ours, Kazaya, and then my niece. And quite a few people's birthdays were during that month, during this holy season and during this time. And just a blessing. Asim Rashon's birthday was the other day too, on the 16th, one of our students. It was just a blessing to be able to celebrate. We actually went and celebrated, had a birthday dinner for my sister's wife.
My Alicia's birthday.
Oh yeah,
14th.
The 14th, and then we celebrated my daughter and my sister wife's birthday. Had dinner and family came and the elders came, and it was just a blessing.
It didn't invite me.
We did invite him, and we thanked him because he paid for everything. Our husband had work. He decided to continue doing the work on the land and other things that took precedence. So he handled that while we went and enjoyed ourselves and brought him some food back. But yes, it was beautiful. One of the highlights for me for the dinner was seeing my nephew, Baba Wande, who is about maybe like a year or so younger than baby Kez. But every time they get together, it's just beautiful to see, because baby Kez, of course, at that point, he looks at him like, oh, he's the baby. He's trying to feed him. Then they're hugging, and just doing their own bonding. And I just love it. And then I just love, when everybody's around and amongst baby Kez, because all his bigger siblings pick him up, take him, and he just goes off doing whatever with them. And they had him and Baba Wande, and just, rejoicing and bonding with one another. So always giving thanks for the family times and the family dinners. And just the fact that the Most High allows us to be amongst one another. And it's just a reminder for me, just how I feel so blessed that I have such a blended family, and that my family growing up like that we embrace, others into our family, because family doesn't just stop with blood, it grows more and more. And that was something I even expressed, or we expressed to Zaquina Kimya and Zaquina Laurel. And Keter, how, and Ina Sakari, how we formed a bigger family with them, and looking at them and their roles as mothers and grandmothers and just mentors, full of wisdom and love for us as our community and as our family. So Toda Rabah. And then Zakwina Kenya. Okay, she put the rest of her thank you up. She said, giving thanks to the Most High, sovereign for my short, not long enough, but sweet getaway week on Beulah land. I know it was 8 days, but it seems like I prepared for two. Total Rabbi for you all, family, for all you do. Total Rabbi Zakwina, Total
May the
Rabbi.
Most High be praised. Total Rabah. Is that it? All right. All right. Right. Anyone else want to thank the Most High for anything special? If you're in the audience, you can always just type it in. May the Most High be praised. You can always type it in. Sister Bahira says, happy birthday to all. Total Rabah. Lyrical Dreams. Shabbat Shalom, sis. How are you? May the Most High be with you. Okay. Anyone else want to thank the Most High for anything special? Now is the time to do so. No? Okay. We're going to move forward then. And if you decide that you do want to thank the Creator for anything, you can always just type it in the room when it comes up, or you can grab the screen, grab the mic, and come onto the screen yourself. Sister Chelsea, did y'all see Sister Chelsea at the Shabbat class?
Low. She wasn't. I saw her pull up later, but
Oh, okay. Well, Shabbat Shalom anyway, Sister Chelsea. May the Most High be with you. And give all them children a hug for me, please. All right. So, if anyone else wishes to thank the Creator, you can either come on the screen, there's the link, hit that link, set it up, come on, say what you want to say, or you can just type it in the room and we'll try to present it. So we're going to move fast forward now to the commandment section. All right. Who got their commandment ready? Anybody? Everybody? Who got their commandment ready? Y'all ready with y'all commandments? It's now time for the commandments.
okay. Sister Chelsea says, I am grateful for this life. This week I started a new job, my new career I'm really excited about. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
And the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Whoever got her gonna have somebody good on their team, because she's a hell of a worker.
So I do have my law. I just went to it, and so I'll just read. It's Deuteronomy 28, but I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is long. But I'll read up to verse 6, I believe.
Wait, before you begin, just for the family to know, Sister Chelsea also do art. She do artwork. And if any of you interested in any artwork, you can hit her up. Sis, you might want to put a link in there so that the people can see, a way to contact you or communicate with you about some artwork. And we're not talking about business. We're only talking about if you want some artwork. So, Sis Chelsea, you can always put a link in there, a connection where they can contact you later. May the Most High be praised. Pardon the interruption, Emo.
So luckily, no worries. Kane, it's very true. Her art is beautiful, beautiful. So Deuteronomy 28. In this part, I'm reading the blessings. We always talk about the curses. But Deuteronomy 28, verse 1, and I think I'll read to 7, it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Creator, thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, and in the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. 7. The Most High shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. So I am definitely Wow, reading that. I didn't pre-read it when I went into my Tanakh and picked this book, and it's that chapter that came up, and I definitely feel like reading it is a confirmation for what we have just spoken about the blessings of the Most High, because he said, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth." And so that's one thing, I always think about when we say we are Hebrew Israelites, when we say we're Israelites, or however we want to reclaim the heritage that we were given, is, are we keeping his commandments? Are we diligently keeping his commandments? Are we putting them to work, actions in our daily movements? You know, are we making plans that include the laws, statutes, and commandments? Because a lot of times, we get up and we just go, but we don't acknowledge the Creator. We don't acknowledge the laws, statutes, and commandments that help us to get through our days. We don't call upon him to bless us when we walk out our door. We don't, give thanks or call upon him to thank him for allowing us to walk back into our doors safely. And that whole, everything I read from 1 to 7, especially the first verse, it explicitly tells you he's saying he will bless thee as long as you do his law, statutes, and commandments diligently, as he has set on record for us to do. And so I'm just reflecting on all the blessings that the Most High has, given us, as a family, as a nation, as a community. And I'm looking and I'm like, we should know and we should give thanks to the Creator first and foremost, because he left this on record, but a lot of us don't do it. A lot of us don't pick up this book and truly say, okay, I'm going to do my best to live out this law every day, to do something that I know if I get up in the morning, I have to say, give thanks to the Creator. I have to say my prayers. Um, I have to remember the law of wearing my fringes. I have to remember the law of being kind, and I have to remember the law of reciting the Shema. Those things aren't done by everyone on a daily basis. However, I know for me, when I don't do it, when I don't wear my fringes or whatever, I feel completely uncovered. And some people are like, oh, but the Most High knows your heart. And he does know my heart, but he left something on record in black and white for us to follow. And if that's always our excuse for if we forget to do something, well, he knows my heart. That's not good enough, in my opinion. I'm not speaking for everybody, but in my opinion, because I can't speak for the Creator. But if he left something for us to do, he wants us to do it. He doesn't want us to say, well, my heart, Most High, so I meant to. But if you don't do it over and over, then what does that say about your heart? What does that say about you, character, right? He wants us to do these things. So I'm grateful that the Most High continuously gives me reminders of what he wants us to do, and not just reminders, but showing me that because we are doing it, he's blessing us. Like my East said, there's a few more things that more things that are happening. And I will say, for me, I know for me and my family, that because we have diligently been doing his law, statutes, and commandments, and doing the things that he has set for us to do with our best ability in righteousness, that he is showing us blessings, and our blessings that he has given unto us will be blessings for the community, blessings for the nation, for those who Most High see fit to come and partake in it in a righteous manner. So I'm just grateful, thanking the Most High again for allowing this law to be brought up to today as a reminder, as a confirmation for us doing what he has profaned for us to do. Um, and like I said, doing it righteously. Zehu.
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. May the Most High be praised. Wonderful. All right. Is there anything else that we need to read? Anyone else? Any other commandments?
Cain.
All right. You got it.
Shabbat Shalom. My commandment is from Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 12, And I'll start, it's verse 13, 14, and 15. It reads, take heed to do thyself. This is the Creator speaking. Take heed to do thyself. I'm sorry. Take heed to do to thyself that thou offer not thy burnt offerings in every place that thou seest, but in the place which the Most High shall choose in one of thy tribes. There thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, and there thou shalt do all that I command thee. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, according to the blessing of the Creator thy power, which he hath given thee. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as of the roebuck and as of the hart. Only ye shall not eat the blood; ye shall pour it upon the earth as water. So that's actually through 16. So there's two commandments, pretty much two commandments in here. Verse 13 and 14, the Creator tells us specifically, don't sacrifice and offer burnt offerings just at any place, right? In any place that you think is acceptable to the Most High. Because it more than likely is not. The Creator is very specific about where He wants His sacrifices to be done, especially since sacrifice is such a spiritually heavy and spiritually demanding act to the Creator, done by the Levites in our midst. It is a heavy act. The life of an animal is being given up, right? Blood will be spilled. It's a lot of spiritual things happening within a sacrifice, and you are not to do it just wherever you think it should be done. It should be done where the Most High places His name, which is, as we know right now, our city, Jerusalem, or wherever the Most High will place His name when He calls us back to our land and places us there. That's where we should, that there and only there, as far as I know, is where sacrifices should be done. But I do have a question about that. Um, if you are not able to journey to the land for whatever reason, is a sacrifice allowed to be done? I guess kind of. I know I just read that, but so I guess the answer is no. But what about the Abraham and other people that have done sacrifices where they are because they weren't able to make a certain journey, right? Where does the Most High talk about that? So that's my first question. And then verse 16, oh, I'm sorry, verse 15. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, according to the blessing of the Most High that power, which he hath given thee. My question comes in this part of the verse. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as of the roebuck and as of the hart. So I'm reading from the Blue Letter Bible, and I don't know what a roebuck is, or HART, a heart. That's how they're saying it is, not HEART. HART is. I'm not sure what those two words mean, so that part of the verse is a little bit confusing. I do see where he's saying the unclean and the clean may eat thereof. So I guess the Most High is saying, like, whether you're clean or unclean, you may eat of whatever meat is being prepared at that time. Of course, you need to drain out the blood. That's what verse 16 says, and pour it upon the earth as water. I'm just not exactly sure what a roebuck is and what a heart, HART, is, what those mean in that scripture. So that's my second question.
Those are two types of deers.
Oh, two types of deers. Okay.
Look them up on the internet while I'm giving you your next answer so that you can see.
Okay.
All right. And I think the hart is a young deer, I believe it is. But you got to remember, each translation has different names for different animals. The other thing is this.
Oh, a hart is an adult male deer.
So the hart is the male.
It's an adult male, yes.
And the roebuck.
1 second.
I thought that was the male deer.
A roebuck is also a male deer, but it's a different species of male deer.
Yeah. So there are two types of deer. That's what they are.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's deal with your other question. Your other question that you asked about Abraham sacrificing. I only know of one time when Abraham sacrificed, and that's when he took his son on 3 days' journey. But I do know another time when Abraham prepared some burnt offerings on the ground, but I'm not sure where he was when he did that. I believe that's Genesis, the 14th or the 15th chapter, maybe the 15th chapter. But what I do know is that when Abraham, and this is strange, and it's powerful that you brought that up. When Abraham offered his son up as a sacrifice, he went on a 3 days journey to do so. And he offered him up on Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah was the same place where the temple was built in Solomon's days.
Hmm.
So it's as if Abraham already knew that the Most High had something special in that location, that he took his son on a 3 days journey to get to that place to offer him up. And then for Solomon to come back years later and dedicate this site to the Most High, it was either because of what Abraham did, or Abraham, who was a prophet, Abraham was a prophet, that maybe the Most High told him where, well, the Creator did tell him where to go. 3 days journey. He told him to take a 3 days journey, and that's where he went. And he ended up being at the same place where the Temple Mount was built, Mount Moriah. So that's interesting. Now I do know that he did one other sacrifice that I'm aware of, just one. And the others, I don't even know if it was a sacrifice. I don't know if I can call it a sacrifice, but he did cut up offerings and spread them out and put them on the ground, and he stayed there and watched until he fell asleep. And then when he fell asleep, a deep sleep came upon him, and fire came down from the heavens and consumed the sacrifice, or went in between each one of the sacrifices. That's the only time that I know of that have happened. But Mount Carmel was a place where our forefathers used to sacrifice to the Most High. Shiloh was a place where the Most High we used to sacrifice to the Most High. But those places was all chosen places of the Creator.
Right.
Then later he took it back from Shiloh, and they made Shiloh a curse because the people wasn't honoring what the Most High had put in place there. They wasn't living up to the best of their ability. All right. So yeah, that was a very interesting commandment.
Okay, so following question then. So the Most High, wherever the Most High places his name, that basically means wherever the Most High chooses, right?
Yes.
What about the times where I forget who it was. I think it was Jacob or maybe, where he dedicated a place. He found it was
Bethel.
yes, Bethel.
But Bethel was a place chosen by the Creator. It was dedicated to the Creator.
It was dedicated to the Creator. So
but the Most High came down to Bethel in that dream and extended, gave him a dream and all types of things. So we don't really know what all transpired at that location to make that a holy site. We only know of that one instance, but we do know that later on in history, other things happened at Bethel.
At Bethel, right? So the Most High did tell Jacob that this is, he puts his name on it, which gave.
I don't know that. I can't say that. All I know is that Jacob made a promise to the Creator. He says, if you will bring me back to this place, then I will serve you. And that place was at Bethel when he left, when he laid down and put his rocks underneath his head and went to sleep. Then he came back and he was at that same place. So I don't know. And I don't even know if he made a sacrifice there. I only have to assume because he said that that's what he would do.
But he had to, the only way he could make a sacrifice is if the Most High gave him permission to do a sacrifice.
But see, before the giving of the law, they followed a different practice. The law is what binds us to only doing it where the Most High placed his name. But prior to the law, we could have done it anywhere that we saw was a holy place. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when we got the law, the Creator said, no more we're going to do this. We're going to do this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Place my name. So we're only bound to that after the law. If we made sacrifices prior to that, we did it wherever we thought was a holy place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
where he placed his name right now that we know of is Jerusalem.
the only place we see. I got different ways of viewing this because in reality, we are called by the Most High's name. Children of Israel, Israel is another name of the Most High. And because we're called by the Most High's name, he placed us in captivity. So if you look at it, if it says, if I place my name, well, he placed us here. So we are called by his name. So that's one way to look at it. I'm not saying that that's correct. I'm saying that that's just one way to look at it. And then another way to look at it is wherever he accepts his name to be placed as a place, a particular place in the earth, that's where we should take our sacrifices. But we know from the law, we just covered this last week in class, the Hajj. Hajj was a pilgrimage. The Muslims adopted that. They got it from us. A Hajj meant that you were returned to the place on a journey. If you was out on a journey, you had to return back to that place where we know that the Most High placed his name when he was speaking to King Solomon in the 8th chapter of 1 Kings. He told him, this is the place that I choose. This is what we'll do. So this is the place I choose to place my name. If people pray toward this place and if they come into this place. So he chose that place as a place for us to worship him at. We don't have any other record of him choosing another place on the earth other than, after Jerusalem. So Jerusalem was the only place where we knew the Temple Mount Moriah. That's the only place we knew. After that, there was nothing else that we know of, verbatim. So if there is, then the Most High has to explain it to us. So we are to take all of our sacrifices, our love offering, our peace offering. I think a sacrifice is the bach. So the offerings might be something different that we might be able to get away with.
Kane, that was going to be my last question. Is there a difference between sacrifice and offering? Because we see both done in scripture at different times, you know?
There's definitely a difference between a sacrifice and an offering. Sacrifice is a whole ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Offering, you can fast to offer back to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to kill anything to offer offering to the Creator.
Mm-hmm. Okay. My initial thought would be, you know, since the Most High does say, do not sacrifice wherever you see fit, right? Like that was part of the commandment that I read. So I would think that even in this land, you know, we shouldn't sacrifice because, like as you just said, it's a whole ritual. It's a big spiritual event that happens, right? So maybe the sacrifice is not what we do here, but an offering is something that we could do. But if we offer something, like if we kill a bird and offer it, is that now put us in violation because it's now a sacrifice because something's dying? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to see.
What you're asking for is going to require a lot more prayer and meditation and going before the Almighty. But I would think that type of blood offering is something that we can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me thinking without doing the research to find it out. Shabbat Shalom, Adon Rabbi Shalamim. Shabbat Shalom, my brother. But offerings within itself, like a fast is an offering. that you can give to the Most High, and you don't have to question whether it's acceptable or not. Well, we can always meditate and pray and then get into the scriptures and look to search out the difference, because some offering you bring the offering, but the priest had to be an established priesthood for the priest to offer the offering up. We don't have those love offerings, peace offerings. All
Right.
those offerings were supposed to go to the priesthood. We take the animal, bring it to the priest offers it up on the altar as an offering to the Most High. And we don't have an established priesthood today that we are aware of. I mean, we got some brothers who believe that they are Kohen, high priests, but when I have talks with them, they say they don't know for sure. So therefore, if they don't know for sure, but yet they're holding that position down, they don't. If their belief is not strong, then I wouldn't even accept that as let's take a chance, let's talk. I don't even get into that, But if I had a brother who says, yes, well, Prince, this is where I'm at, I believe that's who I am, then I'll go research and ask the Creator. And if the Most High shows me or tells me that He is, then him and I will have a conversation and we'll take it to another level. But as of today, the brothers that I talk to say that they're not sure who they are. So I don't argue with them. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, total bar.
Yeah, but as far as making a sacrifice here in this land, in the land of our captivity, it's not my opinion that we could make a sacrifice here. It is my opinion that we can only make sacrifices where the Most High placed His name, and that name was placed back in Jerusalem. So let's say we go back into Jerusalem tomorrow, because we got a lot of our people over there right now, and they're not doing sacrifices. I believe Brother Hoshea is over there, the elder. Hoshea is over there, and I don't think he does sacrifices either, but he possibly could because he's in the land. You understand what I'm saying? But here in America, we know that we can't. Ima, did you want to say something?
Yeah, even if we go back to Jerusalem tomorrow, wouldn't the temple need to be built or rebuilt? And then
You don't have to have the temple to make a sacrifice,
okay,
but there are requirements, like in the book of Deuteronomy, where if you offer an offering and do not bring it to the door of the tabernacle, then that would be accounted against you as a sin. So yeah, I would agree that you have to have a holy place of worship or reverence. So yes.
Okay.
But then that would prohibit us from also doing a sacrifice here. Because
Yeah, that was
if you offer an offering, you had to bring it to the door of the tabernacle
right.
for it to, and give it to the priest in order for it to be accepted up on your behalf.
Right. That was going to be my when I heard the question, that was my thought. Like, we can't do it here because you don't. One, the Most High said the temple will be rebuilt in Jerusalem, and that's where He set it for. And then, like you brought up, the priesthood, or those who say they are of the priesthood but not sure, but they don't have a place to go that the Most High, that has been set apart. And He didn't say He was going to put it here, right? And I guess the other thing was, because you said if we were to go back tomorrow, we know the state of Israel right now, though. And would be a big cleansing that would have to also take place in Israel before the temple could be built, because of all the abominations that are going on there.
I don't know, babe. I done heard that they started building it already.
Huh?
I heard they started building the temple already.
Oh.
Just from some sleight of ear that I've heard. Said that they have already started building the second temple. What they did was they took and sacrificed the red heifer to try to cleanse the land.
Oh, okay.
These are European people that's doing this, not our people.
Yeah, I was about to say they can't.
Right. So
if they're still allowing the things to go on there, like they're still allowing a lot of the atrocities that happen here.
There's a lot of abominations still going on there. That's true.
And then would the Most High even accept that temple, because it's being built by people that are not us?
Well, you got to think about it. The Most High ain't got no problem as long as it's dedicated to him.
Right.
Because even in Shlomo days, Shlomo's temple, although Shlomo was a government over it, we had outsiders putting their hand to building that temple. See, from what I was told many years ago, I haven't been there, so I can't speak firsthand because I chose not to go to Israel for any particular reason until I'm ready. But I was told a long time ago that they had houses built over there, just sitting, waiting. Maybe Rabbi Shalamin can speak about that. Maybe he can tell us about that because I know he has a connection over there in the land as well. But I was told that they had whole communities down there just sitting and waiting for the preservation of the people so that the housing would be readily available for them when that time comes. Uh, uh, Shalamin, are you familiar with that information, bro? Maybe you can come on and have some conversation about that because I can only speak to what I know of, and I haven't done any research, followed up with anybody, or made any phone calls to anyone in the land, find out to verify those things. And I know you know a lot of information about what's going on over there. All right. So if the brother wants to come on the screen, he'll tune in. We send him the link. If he tunes in, then we'll give him the opportunity to speak. And maybe he can inform us of what's going on over there in reference to the things that we just mentioned. All right.
All right. Zakoina Kimya, she left her law. Shabbat Shalom. I think. Did you see Melchizedek? He came in. I don't know if you saw him come in.
Melchizedek. Shabbat Shalom, bro. May the Most High be with you.
So Zakoina Kimya's law can be found in the book. She has 2 books in 3 different areas, so I'm going to read them. The first one can be found in Leviticus, Wayikra, chapter 19, verse 18, and it reads, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High." And the next one is Deuteronomy. I'm going to do 6:5 first since it's before 10. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5 reads, "And thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might." And then chapter 10, verse 19 reads, "Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim," Egypt. And her explanation reads, "Love is blind, but we know it when given. It's the main reason the Most High gave us the laws, which is keys to living life in its fullness. Total Most High, let's remember to love our neighbors, strangers, and the Most High. I'll keep that between the frontlet of my eyes."
All right. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. May the Most High be praised. A lot of effort went into pulling up those 3 places.
That's
I like
what I'm
that.
saying.
I like to see our people putting forth effort. All right. Are there any other commandments?
Lo.
No more commandments. No more thank yous to the Creator. No more acknowledgement. Are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions? It could be about anything pertaining to your way of life, pertaining to our way of life, what the Creator might require of us. Are there any questions from anyone else before we move on?
You know, one of my other commandments before I chose that one, I was reading, and it's verse 2 of Deuteronomy 12. "You shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall preserve, wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their deities upon the high mountains, upon the hills, and upon every green tree. And ye shall overthrow their altars, break their pillars, burn their groves with fire, and ye shall hew down their graven images of their deities, and destroy the names of them out of that place." So I was just thinking of us returning to our land, our native place, and as my sister wife said, a big cleansing would need to happen. And I'm not sure, what other deities may be served in that place, or around the place even, but a lot of breaking down of things, literally breaking things and burning things would have to happen in order for it to be, at least in my opinion, in order for it to be really, really ready. But you said that maybe they're building a temple. So I guess my question is to what you were kind of saying is do you think you said someone or a group of people over there may be doing sacrifices or may not be? Do you know why they may not be? Are they kind of uncomfortable with the state that Israel is in now? You know, did they give their reason for not doing sacrifices where they are, even though they're in Israel now?
Did they give their reasons why? What was that?
Have they given their reason as to why they're not doing sacrifices, even though they are in Israel?
No, I haven't asked. But my brothers over there, Hoshea, Rabbi Hoshea, they're in Tel Aviv, I believe it is, or Arat. They believe that Arat is the actual Jerusalem. Ararat, where they at. They don't believe that Jerusalem was the ancient Jerusalem. They're in a different location, and they're saying that that was the actual Jerusalem. So I don't know if they're doing sacrifices there or not. I'm just telling you from what I remembered from a long time ago. Shabbat shalom, brother Asta. Shabbat shalom, Ima Sukari. Shabbat shalom. May the Most High be with you both.
And you know what you were saying about they believe it's the Jerusalem they stay now is not it. I could believe that because, when we look at history, just ask for help. When we look at history, we see so many times when what do you call them? Foreigners come in and they move things. They take things like we know how even in Africa, how they split the whole Eastern hemisphere used to be one, and they caused different ways to split it and rename it for whatever reclaiming that they wanted to do or identification they wanted to do for themselves. So I can see, I can understand that understanding of believing it's not where they have where we think it is right now,
Yeah. All
or
right.
where they tell us it is, basically.
Hey. Yeah, well, that's another conversation that we would have to embark upon and look into. Yeah, but all that requires work.
You have to ask for help. You can't. Crying doesn't get it. Aim Zaquena Ankiter's law. She put her law up. You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ankiter's law can be found in the book of Leviticus, Vayikra, chapter 23, verses 1 through 2. And it reads, And the Most High spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yisrael, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feast. And so her explanation says all appointed feasts, including weekly Shabbats, should be always observed in assembly with other Yisraelites. We should therefore seek out our people wherever we choose to dwell in the diaspora.
Mm. May the Most High be praised.
All right.
May the Most High be praised. All right. Are there any other questions or comments, family? Are there any other commandments? Anyone else want to present a commandment? If you want to say your commandment, I'll put the link in the room. You can come to the screen and say your commandment. Or if you just wanted to type your commandment, we're all Israelites, the majority of us. We all know that this is what we do every week. We got 1,700 people in a room. Everybody should be placing a commandment there, or at least the majority of the people. And very few people are participating, placing commandments. How are you going to learn if you don't participate? How is your brain going to grow in this way of life if you don't physically cause your brain to function. You know, it's not a right or wrong answer. It's all the only thing you're doing is you place a commandment there and then you give your explanation, whatever it may be, of that commandment. That's all. It's not that difficult. But if you choose not to do it, so be it. That's peace between you and the Most High. It's fine. All right. Can somebody tell me what we read last week in class? The last Shabbat day? The last weekly Shabbat day? When we were in Second Kings, what's the last story we read about? Anybody know? Anybody know what the last story we read about in last week's class? It must have been a very interesting class. You know, this is how I used to do with people when they used to tell me they was going to church all the time. And they would come out and tell me they was how church was and all this. I said, well, what was church about? I wanted to see how much they really got out of church. And I really could tell you what church was about. The message, the lesson, they really couldn't tell you. So now I asked, what was class about last week in Shabbat class? And nobody heard. I could hear the birds chirping outside, but nobody on the screen is saying anything.
From what I remember, it was about Hag, Sukkot, and Shemini Atzeret. Those are what my notes are
The
about.
weekly Shabbat. The weekly Shabbat. We read out of Kings, Second Kings, chapter.
I don't have that in my notes. I'm
Do y'all
sorry.
remember hearing a story about a lady who he prepared a place on the top of her roof, her and her husband, for Elisha when he came through, for the prophet Elisha? Do y'all remember hearing that story last week?
Yeah, wasn't that about when Eliyahu ascended and he blessed and Elisha was given his double
And then,
portion?
and then after that, Elisha took over. Elisha became the main prophet,
Mm-hmm.
and the men was poisoned because of the dearth in the water. He threw the stick in, cleaned the water. The men was healed. They was able to eat. And then we had a story after that about the prophetess. I mean, the woman who came to him because her son died. Do you remember that?
Yes.
All right. When her son died, Elisha went and revived the child back to life. Do y'all remember that?
Cain.
Yes.
Right. So was that the last story we read?
Last Shabbat?
Yes, the last weekly Shabbat.
I believe so. I don't remember because I know we were doing a lot of preparation, food and stuff. So
All right.
the whole thing.
The family just be busy. Brother Asa put a commandment in. Would you like to read it, please?
Cain, I see it. Bereshit, Genesis. What's that? Chapter 1, verse 28. Okay. Brother Asa's commandment can be found in the book of Bereshit, Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. And it reads, and the Most High blessed them. And the Most High said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And his explanation is, my commandment encourages us to expand family. Okay.
May the Most High be praised. It actually is a commandment for us to milieu. And milieu means to refill or repopulate. Milieu on the earth. So yes, it's commanded of every man, every woman to reproduce children. And if they don't reproduce children, then they're not following in the auspices of the laws of the Most High. See, that's the situation that you have to examine with the New Testament, because they say that guy didn't have any children. I don't know how that's possible if he kept the laws of the Creator. That was one of the first commands that he gave. Milieu, be fruitful and multiply. Every woman, every man, if you're physically able, should do that. Now, if you're not physically able, consider yourself getting a pass from the Creator. Don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as a blessing, if that's what the Creator has for you. I'm not talking about anybody that goes and get the pregnancy terminated. I'm not speaking about that. That's a totally different story. I'm talking about one who tries, but has not been able to reproduce. Don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. You know, you're not bound to a command that you cannot fulfill. So may the Most High be with you. It is good for you to hold it in your heart and ask the Creator for the blessings of being able to do so. But if you're not able to do so, don't count it out as a bad thing. Sometimes the Most High reserves you for another existence for different things. So don't worry about it. Don't let it hurt you. Don't let it stress you. May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbah. Very good commandment, Brother Asa. Very good commandment. All right. Are there any other commandments? See, this is what happens to me. See, I pre-read just to get caught up on things weeks and weeks ahead of time, sometimes to get caught up on things and when we have classes. And then what I try to do, because we had so many other classes in between, we had different things moving around. But what I try to do is I try to keep a record of some of the things that I wanted to talk about. You know, I try to keep us up to date. Like the next week, we'll start back where we left off from the week before, the prior week. So according to my records, I don't think we read about leprosy, right? And we didn't read that story, right? Yeah. See, I was reading that in my studies. Sometimes in my studies, my mind just be so into the subject that I'll go back 2 or 3 weeks later thinking that we already read that and we didn't read it as a class. So that's what we're going to get into right now. For anyone who's wishing to, we're going to read in the book of 2 Kings chapter 5. For anyone who wants to be a part of it. 2 Kings chapter 5. Now, my brother Kezu, are you present, Brother Kezu? Because I owe you a reading opportunity. Brother Kezu, are you present? My brother had called me up a couple of weeks ago and said he was going to read for me. And then Sister Ornette, who was a regular reading, she came in and she actually did the reading. I appreciate my brother for extending that opportunity. And maybe Creator willing, we'll be able to have him extend his opportunity to us again. All right. So did we have anybody want to volunteer to read this week? Did anybody want to volunteer to read this week? If not, I'll do it. We'll be fine. It'll get done. All right. Nobody's stepping up to the plate, so we're going to go.
I can read.
Nah. I wouldn't want you reading. Nah.
Well, I don't have the. Okay.
Nah, it's cool. I appreciate it, though. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So let's get going, y'all. Let's go. Let's get it going. We're going to start in 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 1. Y'all ready? Let's rock and roll. Naaman, commander of the army of the king of Syria. Now, let's pay attention. The man's name was Naaman. He was the commander of the army of the king of Syria. Now, was that Hadad? Remember, Ben-Hadad was the king of Syria, but Ben-Hadad is a title for the kings of Syria. They had different ones, and their all name was Ben-Hadad. So we don't know which actual king by name Naaman was serving. But this is a powerful chapter, and I really want you all to focus. This is very important. Before we continue on, please like, share, and subscribe this page. Go out and like and share, and also subscribe to the page if you haven't subscribed yet. This is a powerful chapter that we're about to read about. This will teach us a lot about personality within ourselves. We have to look deep. We have to look deep into ourselves to see where we fit in this story. But the important thing is we have to be honest with ourselves. And a lot of us are not honest with ourselves. A lot of us will be completely guilty in essence of this, but won't admit to it. But we do. We have to be honest with ourselves. If we see some similarity in what we're about to read in our own lifestyle, in our own behavior, we have to speak on it. We must. We need to speak on it because it's very important. You don't have to really vocalize it, but you need to meditate and pray on it within yourself. If what we're about to embark on right now, if what we're about to read about right now, if you see the slightest inclination that it reminds you of yourself, then you need to look deep within yourself to try to make some changes. Because these tests come in strange ways to the strongest of people. And here we go. Naaman, commander of the army of the king of Syria, was a great man, and his master, and in high favor, because by him the Most High had given victory to Syria. The Most High had allowed the Syrian army to conquer. Okay, Ima Sukari just put up her commandment, Ima. So I'm going to have to bring you back up so you can read Ima Sukari's commandment.
Okay, 1 second. Deuteronomy 30. Ima Sukari's law can be found in the book of Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 30, verse 15. And it reads, "See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil." She didn't put an explanation yet. But I also want to say, last Shabbat, we didn't read because we were actually headed to the Unity Shabbat, remember?
Oh, we did a little bit.
Huh?
We did a little bit.
Oh, okay. I didn't recall.
But the week before that, even if we didn't,
we did read. Yeah.
even if we did the week before that a full class, then that was something worthy of mentioning.
Came.
Okay, Ima.
Yeah, so no explanation. So,
All right, we're going to move forward.
all right.
Maybe she'll give it later. All right, let's go, y'all. So Naaman was a powerful man. He was actually the captain or the commander of the army of Syria. And when he went out to war, through him, the Most High blessed the Syrians. All credit goes to the Creator. Now, Naaman at this time wasn't worshiping the Creator. He was worshiping multiple deities, not the Creator. But yet the Most High used him to bring victory to the Syrians. Do y'all see what I'm saying? The Most High uses who he chooses. The Most High don't follow how we want things to be. Creator, I can't see you using him because he's a Christian. Don't use no Christian for nothing, Creator. The Creator wouldn't use no Christian or no Buddhist or no Muslim or no Hindu to bring about his miracle. And that's not true. The Most High chooses whomever he uses. And you can see that here. It says, 2 Kings 5:1. Naaman was a great man with his master and in high favor because by him Yahweh had given victory to Syria. Now the Syrians practiced idolatry. They worship all kind of idols and images and multiple deities and all that stuff. But yet it gives credit to the Most High for their victories. Watch this. Not that the Syrians gave credit to the Most High, but the author of the Kings, when he wrote it, he understood that no matter who they practicing, no matter who they serving, if anything happens, it's because the Most High allowed it to happen. And that's what we have to understand. Excuse me. And that's a little bit of a difficulty for a lot of us, but it doesn't have to be. We just have to be comfortable with knowing that the Most High works with other people, not just Israel. He doesn't work with them like he works with us, but anything that happens in the earth, if that man practicing idolatry, you watch a lot of these Christian preachers on television that's filthy rich, hundreds of millions of dollars. The Creator allowed it to be. So that man is only wealthy because of the hand of the Most High. And then you wonder, well, Creator, I'm so broke, I'm so poor. Can you help me? Give me some. You can't help but to wonder why the Most High hasn't blessed you as much as he blessed or gave so much wealth to those individuals, but yet you can have it too. Usually the reason why, and I'm going to say this on a sidebar conversation, but I mean what I'm about to say. Usually the reason why so many of us are so poor is because of the lifestyle that we choose. Most of us are not consistent. Most of us spend money on things that we don't need. You know, we waste money. Most of us don't invest money. That's usually why the majority of us are poor. But if we take time, the little that we have, and cause it to go towards something that's going to produce more for us, chances are you will grow. You just have to remain consistent with it. Those preachers and teachers and leaders in these congregations that really put their time and effort into seeing their community grow, you didn't do what they did. Therefore, they're in a position physically on the earth as a result of their works and hard work and dedication that they put into it. You, on the other hand, you'll start something today and it's over 2 weeks from now. You'll put your hand to the task and then you tired. You don't want to do it any longer. It's just a different game. Those people got past the tiredness and they kept striving until they were victorious. There are very few people that are wealthy today that the wealth just fell out the sky. Very few. The majority of them, it took consistency and work to get it done and patience to get with. I'm talking about those who come from nothing to something major. It was consistent. The only thing a lot of us do consistent is eat, have sex, make children, and smoke weed. That's a lot. That's some of the things, the majority of the things that we as a people do consistently. We don't even consistently worship the Most High as we should. Because if we did, we would be home by now. Anybody really seeking to win the favor of the Most High, they can do it. They got to put the time in. They got to put the work in. You know, they got to put the sacrifice in. Stop hanging out at the club. Stop going to all these vacations. Stop partying. Stop drinking. Stop smoking that weed. You know, this is why we don't have 100 million followers, because people don't want to hear what I'm talking about right now. They'd rather go somewhere where people just let them do what they want to do. And then they all poor along the way and all unrighteous along the way. And no salvation, no righteousness, no restoration. None of those positive things are taking place because we just live any old kind of way we want to do. My brother, Sintel, Shabbat Shalom, my brother. May the Most High be with you and the family. We have to understand that in order to get a certain place, You have to be willing to sacrifice to achieve that. And in sacrificing, we want to start enjoying the benefits of a little bit of reward too soon. And you can't do that. You have to take what you make, reinvest it. Take what you make, reinvest it. And you do that for multiplicities of years until you actually see a great big outcome on the end. But we don't have that type of determination and drive, consistency, and patience. I'm sure Brother Sintel can come up here and tell you a little bit about it because he understands what I'm talking about. These are the types of things that we need to do if we ever desire to be successful. All right? May the Most High be praised. Torah Rabbah. Let's get back. So he was victorious. The Most High caused that victoriousness to come upon him, but yet he was a pagan. And he worshipped multiple deities. Ben-Hadad, his master, his king, worshiped multiple deities. And as we read this story, we're going to read how this man, he's going to tell Elisha, hey, man, you did something great for me, but I need you to pray for me in this instance, because he didn't want to disrespect his king. Watch what takes place. Naaman, he was a mighty man of valor, but he was a leper. He had a physical impairment. He was a leper. He had leprosy, which caused him to be physically impaired. Now, the Syrians, on one of their raids, had carried off a little girl. Now, they had already captured this little girl a long time ago. She was an Israelite little girl. This little girl was captured, and I'm sure at this time, she was like, why? Why did the Creator allow me to be captured? You know? But the Creator had a greater plan and a greater use for her than what she understood. And this is why. Now, the Syrians, on one of their raids, had carried off a little girl from the land of Israel, and she worked in the service of Naaman's wife. She worked in the service of Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, and watch this, that little girl was planted in Naaman's house to get glory for the Creator as a slave girl. She said to her mistress, would that my lord, your husband, were with the prophets who are in Samaria. Who is she talking about? She's talking about Elisha. He would cure him of the leprosy. Now the wife went back and she told the husband. She said, hey, husband, this little girl, slave girl from Israel, says that there's a man who can heal you of your disease, of your sickness. So Naaman went in and told his Lord. So Naaman went and told his king, Hadad. He says to him, there's a servant, a prophet named Elisha in Israel, the ones that they were at war with for so long, who can heal me of this disease. Sometimes, family, the people you despise the most are the very ones that the Most High puts you to have to humble yourself to go to get whatever it is that you need. So therefore, you shouldn't be despising anyone, because you never know who the Most High might use to give you your blessing. Now, see, Naaman had to get a pass from his king to go to the enemies so he could be healed. Not only did he go to get a pass from the king to go to the enemies, but his king had to talk to the other king to give safe passage to his servant. Remember, the story started off by saying Naaman was a captain of his king's army. So anytime somebody of that status goes into an enemy territory, usually they're thinking about warfare. So if they see him, they're going to kill him. So his king had to talk to the king of Israel and say, hey, listen, My man ain't here on no deaf stuff. My man is here because he wants to speak to the prophet that is in your town. So is that okay? Can we make that happen? We're not here on no treachery, no murder, no homicide stuff. We're here to get some healing. That was the only way that could happen. Any other way, Naaman would have lost his life. So he went to his Lord, just like Nehemiah and the prophet Nehemiah went his way back to Jerusalem, to restore Jerusalem. He had to get permission from King Ahasuerus. When he got permission from King Ahasuerus, what it was King Ahasuerus sent a message all the way across the town, letting everybody know that that man is with me. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. I gave him a pass. Same thing happened here with Naaman. And so Naaman went and told his Lord, thus and so spoke the girl from the land of Israel. And the king of Syria said, go now, and I will send a letter to the king of Israel. Y'all see what I mean? He had to inform him so he can get him safe passage. Because if you see the enemy walking up your street and you know that's your enemy, you're going to take him out with no questions asked. So he called and got permission ahead of time to make sure that Naaman could go. You just don't pop up in your enemy's territory. You can lose your life, especially if you ain't got the men that you need backing you up. He did go with a little small entourage, but that was nowhere near enough to fight off the king of Israel. Watch this. So he went, taking with him 10 talents of silver. That's a lot of money. 6,000 shekels of gold. That's even in today's time. That's a lot of money. And 10 changes of clothing. Clothes was a commodity back then. Clothes was valuable back then. People didn't have a whole lot of clothes. Just so that you'll know for the record, most people didn't even change their clothes but once a month, sometimes once a year back then. They would wash, they would bathe their bodies, and they would bathe their clothes, but they put the same garments back on until they wore out. And then when they wore out, they would get new ones. Today, we don't understand the luxurious life that we're living today by having a closet with multiple shirts, multiple socks, multiple pants, multiple garbs, multiple kufis, multiple shoes. We don't know the luxurious life that we're actually living, and we call ourselves poor. But back then, they would have one shirt, one pair of pants, and one slippers or one sandals that they would wear for years until they wore out and they could no more wear them before they would swap out and get a new pair. Only the rich people had multiple. Like what we got right now, we call ourselves poor, but yet we got a whole closet full of stuff. That was a rich life back then. And we look at it today, oh, I'm so poor, I'm so broken, I need. You just don't have what you want, but you got what you need. If you really look around, family, you got what you need. So therefore, clothing, changes of clothes, look what they have it compared to. Multiple talents of silver, multiple talents of gold, and then change of clothes. So that shows you the high status of being able to change your clothes every day brought upon a person. And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, which read, when this letter reaches you, know that I have sent to you Naaman my servant, that you may cure him of leprosy. The king ain't curing nobody of nothing. Watch this. And when the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes and ripped them up. Why? Because he was in anguish. Why? Because Benadad was his arch enemy. And he couldn't please that man. I can't cure nobody no leprosy. What, you trying to start a war with me or something? You trying to pick something so we can fight again? He says, the king of Israel says, am I Elohim to kill and to make alive? That this man sends word to me to cure a man of his leprosy? Only consider and see how he seeks a quarrel with me. He said, this man is picky. His man want to fight. If he want to rumble, let's go. But he's starting this. But I'm going to finish it. Watch this. But when Elisha, the man of Ha Elohim, heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, that something was vexing him in his spirit, he sent to the king saying, why have you torn your clothes? I want y'all to notice what's going on here. Most people don't have access to the king. Can you reach out to the president right now because you want to? This shows you the type of diplomacy that Elisha was working with, how he was recognized in the king's house, how he was a powerful man, even within the government. He was a powerful man. He heard that the king was upset. He sent a letter to the king. He walked to the king and said, hey, king, I heard you tore your clothes. What's up? What's wrong, king? What's on your mind? What's causing this problem for you? Elisha was the man. Remember earlier, his predecessor, Elijah, was running from the king. Not saying that this was the same king. It's a different king. But this shows you the advancement, how to create a blessings and advances in our lives. Just a few years earlier, Eliyahu was running from the kings of Israel and Jezebel and Ahab. He was running from them for his very life. Now Elisha is living in the king's palace or somewhere close by to the king, where he get word, he could just go walk up to the king and say, hey, king, what's up? Totally different story for Elisha. Eliyahu. But Elisha, his game is just different. The Most High put that blessing upon his life, and he has access to the king like Eliyahu had not. He went to see the king. He sent to the king saying, why have you torn your clothes? Let him come now to me, that he may know that there is a prophet in Israel. How many of us today can work that type of power with authority like Elisha did back then? Oh, this is a problem? Come on over here, I'll fix that problem. Because that's what he did. He said, let him come now to me that he may know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman came with his horses and chariots and stood at the door of Elisha's house. He came to Elisha's front door, and Elisha sent a messenger to him. Elisha didn't even go himself because Elisha was high class. Elisha sent his messenger to him saying, and he gave him the instructions. Naaman, because Naaman was a captain of the guards, he was offended by that. That's the first thing that gave him a bad position, because he was a captain of the guard. He was a big man, and a prophet, Elisha, wouldn't even talk to him. Didn't need to, because Elisha knew what was needed and necessary. But Naaman felt offended. He felt disrespected because Elisha didn't talk to him. Elisha didn't come down. Elisha sent his servant to talk to the man. More than likely, it was Gehazi. But Naaman felt disrespected. And Elisha sent a messenger to him saying, Go and wash yourself in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored, and you shall be clean. Well, that wasn't what he expected. He expected the prophet to come down and get on a knee. Prophet put one hand on his head, reach out to the heavens, and say this dynamic prayer, and then he'd get up, and his body was healed after he felt this flushing run through him, this overwhelming power and force. And then he said, oh, I feel great now. Get up. And the disease is gone. Why am I taking the time to mention this? Because oftentimes we expect the Most High to work miracles in our lives the way that we want the Most High to work miracles in our lives. Earlier, you heard me say it's slow motion. the blessings that the Most High brings to us slow motion. It's only slow motion because we want it yesterday. But it ain't slow motion in accordance to the blessings when you're compared to those who don't have the blessings. Same thing here with Naaman. Naaman was expecting a certain type of treatment to be done to him, with him, and for him. When it didn't happen, he got discouraged, and plus he was disrespected. He felt like he was being disrespected because Elisha didn't come out and personally talk to him. But Naaman was angry, verse 11, and went away. He left. He was disrespected. And then he says something about dip myself in the Jordan. What's wrong with it? We got river, we got water over there. I take a bath weekly. Why do I need to dip myself in the Jordan? What's so special about Jordan? We got better water over there where I'm at. The arrogance. But sometimes when you feel disrespected, it blinds you to logic because you're so angry trying to get revenge from the disrespect or the hurt that you felt from an individual that you can miss the whole message. Naaman was angry and went away, saying, behold, I thought that he would surely come out to meet me. He was disrespected. He felt disrespected because Elisha didn't even come and see him. I thought surely he would come out to meet me and stand and call upon the name of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, his power, and wave his hand over the place and cure the leper. You see what Naaman said? See, how many times do you expect the Most High to do something in your life the way you think it's going to happen? And he does it, but he does it in a completely different way and at his own time. The Most High is awesome like that. So he's mad. And he says, are not Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Arrogance. You see the arrogance that he had? He said, in Damascus, we got rivers. I could just go dip myself in those rivers. I don't need the waters over here in the Jordan. He says, could I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. He left. He was highly upset. Sometimes, family, you get discouraged when you think the Most High is not working the way you want the Most High to work. I know a brother who he's probably here now. He used to call me sometimes and we have conversations about him. He's been in his way of life for quite a while, and he's been wanting and seeking a wife for a long time. And I know some sisters who seeking a husband and have been seeking a husband for a long time. So they call me to help, to pray for them, to allow the Most High's healing to come to them, to bring them a wife or a husband. Now I can do that, and I do. When they ask, I do. But if the Most High doesn't answer my prayer in exactly as you wish for it to be or desire for it to be, it doesn't mean that he's not going to answer that prayer. It only means that you have to be patient and wait on the Most High. Be patient and wait on the Most High, for he will answer prayers. You just have to learn some patience. So he left. So he turned away. He went away in a rage. Verse 13. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 13. Now watch this. Sometimes it takes the lowliest of us to speak the most wisdom. Because everybody a slave doesn't mean you're stupid just because you're a slave. But his servant came near and said to him, watch the respect that his servant pays to him. He says, my father, Abinu, it is a great word, the prophet have spoken to you, will you not do it? Has he actually said to you, wash and be clean? So he went down and dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, according to the word of the man of Ha Elohim. Now it took his slave to say something to him for him to humble himself and adhere to the word of the prophet. That was powerful, because most men in position don't give a lending ear to someone else to tell them something that they needed to hear. But his slave went to him. He actually said to you, wash and be clean. So he went down and dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, according to the word of the man of Ha Elohim. And his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. The name of this lesson is, Did I Ask the Creator for a Son? Let's read on. This is the part where I really want you all to start watching in your life to see if any of these things apply to your lifestyle or to you and your personality. Aim Kater, you are absolutely right, Aim. It shows us that healing comes with humility. May the Most High be praised. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 15. Watch this. Then he returned to the man of Ha Elohim. He and all of his company, he wanted to apologize. He wanted to make things right because he was disrespectful. And he came and stood before him. And he said, behold, I know that there is no power in all the earth but in Israel. This man was introduced to the Creator because he had a lifelong disease, a leprosy, that nobody else could heal or fix or correct. He came before a man of the Most High, didn't even meet the man of the Most High, and the man of the Most High gave him instructions. He went out and obeyed what the man of the Most High said. Instantly, he was healed. That was enough for him to acknowledge the power of the Creator. What is it going to take for you? No. I know you think you know what I'm talking about because you're here. But what is it going to take for you to really acknowledge the power of the Creator and change your life from the habits that you have that you know He doesn't approve of? What is it going to take for you? Some of you smoke so much weed, it's pathetic. You smoke so much weed, morning, noon, day, and night, and you wondering why you poor. Some of you sleep with so many women. I got a tenant in one of our buildings. We got a camera in one of the buildings. Every night, at least once a day, at least 4 days a week, he got different women coming out of his apartment. He ain't. You know what he doing. I know what he doing. You know what he doing. And I'm not making assumptions. But why? It's the habits like that a lot of Israelites got. A lot of Israelite men think that it's okay to just sleep with a woman, sleep with a woman, sleep with a woman, different women, and don't marry none of them. They think it's okay, but it's not. How many habits do you have in life that you need to break away from in order for you to show the Most High that you really believe in Him? That you really know that He's watching, that you know that He's paying attention to you and your lifestyle and your habits. How many sinful things or abusive things like drugs, like alcohol, like marijuana, like eating chicken, they're addictive. How many of those type of things do you continuously do before the Most High, knowing that He's watching, but you just keep on doing it? Naaman was convinced with that one blessing. How many blessings you done had in your life in the last year, and you still not convinced because you are mistreating yourself? If you don't take value in your health, then you're mistreating yourself. Things that you know that you eat that your body don't take to, you should stop eating them. Things that you know that you smoking that you show you is bad for your health, you should stop. Well, weed ain't bad for my health. Weed is actually a herb and is healing my body. And if you want to heal your body through the weed, eat it. Don't smoke it. Because the moment you put fire to it, you change the chemical composition of it and it becomes something other than the herb that was used for medicine for your body. So don't smoke it. Eat it if you want to eat it. Eat it in its raw form and see if it helps. But the moment you light it up, you're doing something else. The moment you put a match to it, you have just caused the chemical composition of it to change. And you're actually poisoning yourself. Can you imagine somebody walking around voluntarily walking into burning down houses, ingesting the smoke, and coming back out with a whole mouthful of smoke and blow it out, and then walk back in the fire and get some more smoke and walk outside and blow the smoke out and then get the high and say, oh, I like the way it makes me feel. Because that's exactly what you're doing every time you puff cigarettes and weed, and or the other. Every time you puff. See, this is why we don't have 2 million followers, because these are the types of things Prince teach against the things that people like to do. These addictions are holding us back from drawing closer to the Creator, and you don't even see it. Every time you drink a little bit of alcohol, it goes into your body and begin to destroy brain cells. It shuts down different functions of your body, and you don't even know it. But when Prince talks like this, people run. Oh, I don't want to hear who he think he is. Oh, he's so judgmental. He's always judging me. It's because I want you to live. And I want you to live more abundantly. I want you to have a longevity of life and the best of health. That's why I speak to you in the manner that I do. Stop eating that chicken. Stop drinking that alcohol. Stop smoking that weed. Stop sexing all those girls. If you are a man and you gotta have sex, then get married. And if one woman ain't enough, then marry multiple women. But if you lay down with a woman, she should be your wife. And women, if you lay down with a man, he must be your husband. These things are not pleasing to the Creator. And these are the things that Prince teaches. And this is why people don't like what Prince got to say. But it's okay, because I'm going to do what the Creator got me doing anyway. I'm going to do it, whether you like it or not. What you will learn is that your lifestyle is what prevents you from getting ahead. The things you do. Let's get back to the story. Okay, I'm going to start back at 15 and 5. 2 Kings 5 and 15. You ready? Then he returned to the man of Ha Elohim, he and all his company, and he came and stood before him. And he said, behold, I know that there is no power in all the earth but in Yisrael. So accept now a present from your servant. He humbled himself completely, and he called himself the servant of Elisha, a man that he just first met that day when he returned. But he said, Elisha said, as the Most High lives, and this is where I want you to think, family, are you this kind of person? Would you have done what Elisha just did? As before whom I stand, as the Most High live, before whom I stand, I will receive none. I will not take your money. I will not take your clothes. I will not take the clothes that you're offering me. I will not take the kosaf, the kesaf. I will not take the silver. I will not take the zahab. I will not take the gold. He said, I will not take any of these things. Because the service that the Most High allowed me to do came freely to me. How can I charge you for something that the Most High freely blessed me with? You tell that to the pastor. You tell that to the spiritual leader of the congregation, and you see what they got to say about it. All these pastors getting rich off the people. Elisha said, you won't make me rich. The Most High provides for me. He provides well for me. Did you notice that Elisha had a house? How you get a house? He must have had an occupation. Or he just built it, or somebody dedicated it to him or donated it to him. See how they took care of the man of the Most High? They would just make donations to him. And we got some people who donate to us, but they're not donating to me. They're donating to the Most High. They donate to the children, to the school, to the community. It ain't coming to me. I had one person send us a donation the other day, $44.39, I think it was. I guess the numbers were something special. I don't know. But he wrote 2 prints on his donation. That was the first person that ever put a donation in my name. But it still went to the school. That money went straight to the school. It's in the school's cash app. That's exactly where it goes, to the school. Because nobody here will ever be able to say they made me rich. Nobody. Nobody here will ever be able to say that they provided for me, took care of me and my family. No, I'm a man. I take care of my own. Any KSF, any Zahab, anything that you give to this community goes to the school or to the land, one or the other, nowhere else. So you can give freely because it's all a tax write-off. You can write it off in your taxes and be cool. There you go. So let's go. But he said, as the Most High whom I serve lives, I will not receive him. And he urged him. He tried to continuously urge him to take it. And all the people around him is standing around watching. He tried to urge him to take it, but he refused. Then Naaman said, if not, please let there be given to your servants 2 mules, loads of earth, for from now on your servant will not offer burnt offerings or sacrifices to any power but Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. He was convinced that the Most High was king, and that the Most High and the Most High alone was the only one worthy of praise. Watch what he says. He says, in this matter, may the Most High pardon your servant. He says, Elisha, please let the Most High forgive me for this one sin. And I'm going to tell you what it is. And the only reason why he had to ask for that is because he feared man more than he feared the Creator. And this is what it was. He says, in this matter, may the Most High pardon your servant. When my master goes into the house of Ramon to worship there, leaning on my arm, and I bow myself in the house of Ramon, when I bow myself in the house of Ramon, the Most High pardon your servant in this manner. He says, I still got to please my master, but yet I'm a servant. I am convinced I'm a servant of the Most High. That's how I'm going to live. But when my master goes into the house of Ramon to bow down, to prostrate, and to pray, I got to go in with him. But my heart is with the Creator. A lot of you women, you're married to these men who practice all this stuff. Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, whatever they're practicing. And you playing that same game right there. And I can't argue with you because you're a wife. You're supposed to do what your husband tell you to do. I'm not going to argue with you. You're not going to get an argument out of Prince. The prophet who had more spiritual knowledge than the average man or woman, he says to him, go in peace. Lake le shalom, or go to peace. But he said, go. Don't let that stress you. The Most High knows what it is that you're doing. You made this clear. He didn't say the Most High knows my heart. He didn't say that. He said, the Most High, please forgive me for this one thing that I'm going to be doing as long as I'm serving to this king. He could have resigned from his job. He could have left. He could have stayed with Alicia. He could have served Alicia. He could have did a lot of things, but he didn't do that. What he decided to do was ask the Most High to forgive him for a sin that he knew he would be doing. And that sin was because his master worshiped a deity. He had to escort his master into that deity's house. How many of you freely go into a church and freely actively participate in church festivals, church events, and church ongoings? Many of us. I went to a funeral not too long ago, and the funeral was in a masjid. And in the sanctuary portion, they was requesting all the people to come into the sanctuary and bow down during time of prayer. Well, I stayed out in the audience. I didn't go in there and do that stuff, that mess. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I stayed outside. I came to show my respects to the elder, but I stayed out front. I wasn't going into that sanctuary part. Not one foot of mine was going in that sanctuary part where they worshiped their deities. I don't do that. I don't. So anyway, here we go. But when Naaman had gone from him a short distance, Gehazi, now y'all know who Gehazi was, right? Gehazi was a servant of Elisha. Is this you? Is this your spirit? You value wealth more than you value loyalty? Do you value wealth more than you desire to serve the Creator? Now, I want y'all to imagine this and think about this for a second, because if you're working on a Shabbat, then you value wealth more than you do your service to the Creator. If you have conveniently moved the Shabbat from Friday night until Saturday morning just so that you can work Friday night, now I'm not talking about anybody who actually believes that that's when the Shabbat starts. I'm talking about somebody who has conveniently changed the date just so that they can work Friday night. That's wicked. That's wickedness. Now, if you actually believe that the Shabbat start in the daytime, then that's a different story. But if you believe that the Shabbat starts at night, but then on Friday night, you wait until the next sunrise, or you work on the Shabbat and just ask, the Most High knows my heart. The Most High knows my heart. Please forgive me, Abi. And you keep doing that sin, then that's wickedness. And the Most High shall hold you accountable for your wickedness. Because that's surely what that is. But when Naaman had gone from him a short distance, Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of Ha Elohim, said, see, my master has spared this Naaman, the Syrian, in not accepting from his hand what he brought. As the Most High live, I will run after him and get something from him. Gehazi chose for himself to be paid for service that he didn't even do. Because Gehazi's desire was on wealth more than it was in loyalty and obedience. It was more on wealth. And you will learn that a lot of people will come around you. If you're a wealthy person and if you got finances, you will learn that a lot of people will attach themselves to you and serve and walk with you, but they only do it until something better comes along for them. Those people are called users because they'll come along and be with you for a period of time until something better develops in their life, and then they're gone. And most times when they're gone, they'll do it at a time when you needed them the most because they have no regard for loyalty, honor, integrity. They have no regard for those things. And they're out. Pshoo. 21. So Gehazi followed Naaman. So Gehazi followed Naaman. And when Naaman saw someone running after him, he got down from his chariot to meet him and said, "Is all well?" Naaman didn't understand what was going on because Naaman understood what loyalty was. He said, "Is all well?" Gehazi says, "My master has sent me to say, there has just now come to me from the hill country of Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Please give them a talent of silver and 2 changes of clothes." He didn't even mention the gold. And Naaman said, "Because be pleased to accept 2 talents. And he urged him and tied up 2 talents of silver in 2 bags with 2 changes of clothes and laid them on 2 of his servants and said, "Take them with you." And they carried them before Gehazi. Now, these men carried all the silver and the gold and the silver and the clothes. They carried all this probably on donkeys before Gehazi. So it meant Gehazi's hands was free, which meant Gehazi got a feeling of superiority at this time. And when he came to the hill, he took them from their hands and put them in his house. And he sent them in a way, and they departed. So he just felt, I got away with this. He went in and stood before his master, Elisha, and Elisha said to him, he forgot Elisha was a prophet. He said, "Where have you been, Gehazi?" And he said, "Your servant went nowhere." He said, "I ain't go nowhere." He said, "I ain't go nowhere." But he said to him, "Did not my heart go when the man turned from his chariot to meet you? Did not my heart go when the man turned from his chariot to meet you? Was it a time to accept money and garments, olive orchards and vineyards, sheep and oxen, male servants and female servants?" That's what the money would have been used for, to buy vineyards, orchards and vineyards and sheep and oxen, male and female servants. That's what Gehazi would have used the money for. But I like that part that he says, "Did not my heart go when the man turned from his chariot to meet you?" What does that mean? That means a lot of times, family, when you do, let's say a wife that cheats on her husband's heart didn't go with her. Her husband's heart didn't give her permission to go with that man, to lie with that man, and to be with that man, and it's actually disappointing. It's actually disappointing. In the spirit realm, if his heart didn't go with you, you are in complete violation. Complete violation. But you must be dealt with. And in time, you will see those things. He said, "Did not my heart go when the man turned from his chariot to meet you? Was it a time to accept money and garments, olive orchards and vineyards? Some people do these things for free just to sell themselves. But Gehazi did it for wealth, so he can buy all these things. Therefore, now this watch this, family. Therefore, the leprosy of Naaman shall cling to you and to your descendants forever. Therefore, pay close attention to this, please. Therefore, the leprosy of Naaman shall cleave to you and to your descendants forever. How long was it going to cleave to him? It wasn't just for his lifetime. It was also for his descendants after him. Do anybody know what leprosy is? What is leprosy? Leprosy turns the skin white. Leprosy turns the skin white. Something I want to read. I believe it's 13, Leviticus 13. I believe it's Leviticus 13. So let's turn our books, please, to Leviticus 13, if you can. All right. Let's read. That's right, turns you white. Your skin becomes white, pink. And the Most High spake unto Moshe and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in his skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or bright spot, and it being the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aharon the priest, and unto one of his sons the priest. Now, we're going to read on. But where it says that leprosy, when this whiteness of leprosy completely covers his entire body, he's now clean. He's pronounced clean because he's no longer in a contagious state. Now let me read. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin on the flesh when the hairs and the plague are turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin for its flesh. It is a plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. Let me read that verse one more time because it's something I want to say. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin and of the flesh, and when his hair turn white, when the hair in the plague turn white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. So we got our young sisters out here today, our older sisters out here today, and what are they doing? They're wearing these blonde wigs, looking like European people. That's not your natural color of your hair. The majority of your people don't have blonde hair. Red, yeah, maybe, but not blonde. And we got a lot of young ladies today that walk around imitating another race of people that they don't even understand. And a lot of it is because they have no pride in who they are. They think they look good with blonde hair on their head, blonde weaves, the red hair, green hair, purple hair. They do all types of things to themselves. But what they don't realize is that they're actually telling the Most High that you made a mistake, Creator. I don't like the way you made me. So therefore, I'm going to dye what you gave me and change it and see if I can find some better feelings while wearing these things for myself. because 99.9% of the things we do it for emotional stimulation, for emotional gratification, so we can feel a certain way about ourselves. All right. It's not like going to the gym. When you go to the gym, yeah, you get an outward appearance with these big muscles, or you get muscular, or you get better in shape. But the difference in going to the gym and dyeing your hair and putting on makeup, the difference between those two things are you actually feel better when you go to the gym. You're more flexible, you're more vital, your body functions are better, it's working, your chemistry is moving, your blood is flowing, you're amped up, you're hyped, you're a different person. You feel great, your posture is different, everything. But when you put that imitation stuff on, the wigs, all them different colors, especially blonde and purple and green and red, what you're really saying is that I'm not pleased with myself. I think I'm ugly. Or I'm not the best that I need to be. So I'm going to make myself up with these things to make myself more attractive for a husband, or just for yourself, even if you think, so that people find you more attractive. And that shouldn't be what you do. You should never introduce foreign things to yourself. Sisters should never even wear weaves. They should never, if your hair don't grow, embrace it. Embrace who you are. Now, if you want your hair to grow, you can do certain things with your diet to make your hair grow. You can stimulate your scalp. There's certain things that you can do to make your hair grow. If you're not pleased with your hair growing, but it's your hair, it will be you, the real you, who you are. But for you to walk around with a blonde wig and a red wig and green and all that, dyeing your hair all these different colors, you look like a clown. That's what you look like. And this is something that you would never do if you was in your right mind. A lot of women who are feeling depressed, feeling lonely, can't get a man, or feel like their man don't love them, they want to do all this stuff to themselves so somebody else's attention they can grab. They don't even realize it. And that's why they be wanting to dye their hair and all those other things. Right here, the Most High lets us know that blonde hair is a sign of a curse. But yet we do it all the time. We do it all the time. If the bright spot be white in the skin or the flesh, and the sight not deeper than the skin, then the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut him up that have the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look on him 7 days, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 more days. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be some part dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spread much abroad the skin, after that he had been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen in the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, and he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. And the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and he shall shut him up, for he is unclean. Watch this. And if a leprous break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy covers all the skin, now what are we talking about right now? If a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy covers all the skin of him that have the plague, from his head even to his feet. Whosoever the priest looketh on, then the priest shall consider and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that have the plague. It is all turned white. He is clean. Do y'all see why I brought that up? If leprosy is a disease that turns the flesh white, and is only black and white spots and sores and stuff, that man is unclean. But once his whole body is turned white, pink, yellow, you know how white people look, their skin, once they completely turn all white, that person is no longer unclean. That person is now pronounced clean, but his whole body has to be completely covered. There's a difference. So what is a white man? But a man who is clean of leprosy. His whole body is white. So he's clean. Sister Ornette, you said you had a question? And Shabbat Shalom to you, Sister Ornette. You have a question, Sister Ornette? You want the link? Vitiligo may be a more modern term for leprosy. I don't know. Look that up. Look the word up. It might be a modern term for what they call when you got those different blotches on your skin. That's it. All right. So are there any other questions or comments before we move on? Yes. That's exactly correct. But no, it's similar to herpes breakout. Yes. Except I don't think it runs with pus and blisters and all those things. So let's see what she has. Leprosy and vitiligo are not the same. They are distinct conditions with different causes, though they can both cause skin discoloration. Leprosy is a chronic infection, bacteria disease that also causes loss of sensation, while vitiligo is an autoimmune disease where the immune system attacks melanocytes, pigments, making cells, leading to patches of lost color. All right. Yep. May the Most High be praised. So Naaman and Gehazi and all of Gehazi's children were now cursed with leprosy. So they had to walk around with white skin for the rest of their lives. And then after him, people with that same disease were born. It says, therefore the leprosy of Naaman shall cling to you and to your descendants forever. So he went out in his presence, a leper like snow, white. Now the sons of the prophets said to Elisha, see the place where we dug under your charge is too, where we dwell under your charge is too small for us. Let us go to the Jordan, and each of us get there a log, and let us make a place for us to dwell there. And he answered, Go. Like, Sister Anise says, I remember going to the Dead Sea in Israel one year and saw all these Euro Gentiles with big pus filled white patches on their skin. I mean, it covered their bodies. It covers their bodies. I had never seen something like that before. They were trying to get treatment by the water. Well, may the Most High be praised. I'm glad they were there trying to get treatment. Now the sons of the prophet of Elisha said to Elisha, see, the place where we dwell under your charge is too small for us. Let's stop for a second. Look how Elisha's people who walked with him was living with him. You see? The people was complaining that it's too small, but yet they dwelt together. And that's how it's supposed to be if you plan on building something significant. We all must dwell together. It says, let us go to the Jordan, each of us get there a log, and let us make a place for us to dwell there. And he answered, Go. Because you don't stop people from doing what they want to do. It's not always best what they have in mind, but if that's what their desires are, let them go. They'll find out the hard way. Like I had a daughter who wanted to leave my house and live with her sisters. She's 18 years old. If that's what she wants to do, go. But I know and I can see what type of life is headed for you. She can't see that. She thinks it's going to be peaches and cream and it's something good for me to do. She's going to learn the hard way. I pray that the Most High has mercy on her, but she's definitely going to learn that the decision she made wasn't the best decision. But I'm not going to stop her. I try not to never force anybody to do anything that they don't want to do, because you're not going to like the results. Then one of them said, be pleased to go with your servants. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them. And when they came to Jordan, they cut down trees. But as one was felling a log, his axe head fell into the water, and he cried out, Alas, my master, it was borrowed. Don't worry about it, my Lord. It was borrowed. It wasn't mine. Don't worry about it. No big deal. Then the man of Elohim said, where did it fall? Elisha goes and says, where did it fall? Now watch this, because Elisha wasn't no joke. When he showed them the place where it fell, he cut off a stick and threw it in there and made the iron head float to the top. And he said, take it up. So he reached out his hand and he took it up. That was deep. He made an iron head float. Once when the king of Syria was warring against Israel, he took counsel with his servants, saying, as such and such a place shall be my camp. Now that was the Assyrian king who was fighting against the king of Israel. In the Syrian king's own palace, in his own home, many miles away from the king of Israel and Elisha, he thought about something in his own mind. Such and such a place shall be my camp. But the man of High Elohim sent word to the king of Israel, beware that you not pass this place, for the Syrians are going down there. And the king of Israel sent to the place about the man of Elohim, in which he told him. Thus he used to warn him, so that he saved himself there more than once or twice. And the mind of the king of Syria was greatly troubled because of this thing. And he called his servant and said to them, will you not show me who of us is for the king of Israel? Who warned him? And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet, who is in Israel, tells the king of Israel the words that you speak in your bedroom. This prophet wasn't no joke. And he said, go and see where he is, that I may send and seize him. It was told him, behold, he is in Dothan. So he sent their horses and chariots. This is King Benadad sending people to Israel to search out the man of the Most High. So he sent their horses and chariots and a great army, and they came by night and surrounded the city. When the servant, now, this was when Elisha's men said, let's move from the house we in because it's too small, and let us go down here and each one of us get a house. When the servants of the man of Elohim, Ha Elohim, rose early in the morning and went out, behold, an army with horses and chariots was all around the city. And the servant said, alas, my master, what shall we do? He said, do not be afraid. That's some powerful stuff, man. He said, do not be afraid. For those who are with us are more than those who are with them. They looking around, they little few guys saying, what are you talking about, man? Have you lost your mind? That's an army of men. Then Elisha prayed to the Most High. And watch this. You have angels around you daily, family. They are assigned by the Creator to make sure that you're safe, because this is a spiritual war. There's spiritual energies always trying to take you out, to attack you, to set you up, cause you to get in some trouble. Always. If you give in to those entities, then you will definitely be in trouble. But on the opposite side of things, you have entities that's trying to protect you from those entities. Then Elisha prayed and said, O Most High El Shaddai El Elyon, please open his eyes that he may see. So the Most High opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. That's power. That's power. Elisha was what you call highly favored. And when the Syrians came down against him, Elisha prayed to the Most High. Nah, Abi, strike down this people with blindness. So he struck them with blindness in accordance with the prayer of Elisha. And Elisha said to them, this is not the way, and this is not the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek. And he led them to Samaria. And as soon as they entered, now Samaria was where the king of Israel lived. Damascus was where the other king, Benadad, the Syrians, where they lived. So they came and entered into Israel through the back door to try to take Elisha. Elisha calls through prayer, calls blindness to come upon these men, and then he takes them by the hand and leads them back to the king of Israel, their enemy. And as soon as they entered into Samaria, Elisha said, O Most High, open the eyes of these men, that they may see. So the Most High opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. As soon as the king of Israel saw them, he said to Elisha, now this is the king talking to the prophet. He says, my father, should I strike them down? The king of Israel, humbled himself to a prophet, a man of the Most High, and said, my father, Abi, should I strike them down? Should I strike them down? He could have killed them. And he said, you shall not strike them down. Would you strike down those whom you have taken captive with the sword and with the bow? No. You set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink and go to their master. So he prepared for them a great feast. And when they had eaten and drunken, he sent them away, and they went to their master. And the Assyrians did not come again on raid into the land of Israel. Are there any questions, anyone? Do we have any questions? Any comments thus far on anything that we read so far today? Any questions or comments? All right. No, Syrian. Ben-Hadad and his men are Syrian. See, the king of Syria, they're Syrians. Israel is Samaria. Ben-Hadad and his men are Syria. It's the difference. Afterwards, Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, mustered his entire army and went up to besiege Samaria. Now that's Israel. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and they besieged it, until a donkey's head was sold for 8 shekels of silver, and the fourth part of a cob of dove dung for 5 shekels of silver. Now, as the king of Israel was passing on the wall, a man cried out to him, saying, "Help, my lord, O king." And he said, "If the Most High will not help you, how should I help you? From the threshing floor or from the winepress?" And the king asked her, "What is your trouble?" She answered, "This woman said to me, 'Give your son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow.'" Our people was reduced to cannibalism. So we boiled my son and we ate him. And on the next day I said to her, "Give your son that we might eat him." But she has hidden her son. When the king heard the words of the woman, he tore his clothes. Now he was passed by on the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had cloth beneath on his body. And he said, "May Elohim do so to me, and more also, if the head of Elisha, the son of Shaphat, remains on his shoulders today." Now he's mad at the king, at Elisha. Well, Elisha gonna fix all this. Elisha was sitting in his house, and the elders were sitting with him. Now the king had dispatched a man from his presence, but before the messenger arrived, Elisha said to the elders, "Do you see how this murderer has sent to take off my head," calling the king a murderer? "Look, when the messengers come, shut the door and hold the door fast against him. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him?" And while he was still speaking with them, the messenger came down to him and said, "This trouble is from the Most High. Why should I wait for the Most High any longer?" This is deep. But Elisha said, "Hear the words of the Most High. Thus says Yahweh, tomorrow about this time, a seah of fine flour shall be sold for a shekel, and 2 seahs of barley for a shekel at the gate of Samaria." Basically, he's saying that the famine is going to be lifted. Then the captain of whose hands the king's linked said to the man of Ha Elohim, if the Most High himself should make windows in heaven, could this thing be? But he said, "You shall see it with your own eyes, but you shall not eat of it." Why? You shouldn't eat of it because you did not believe. Now there were 4 men who were lepers at the entrance of the gate, and they said to one another, Why are we sitting here until we die? If we say, let us enter into the city, the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. If we sit here, we die also. So now come, let us go over to the camp of the Syrians. If they spare our lives, we shall live. And if they kill us, we shall but die. So they arose at twilight to go to the camp of the Assyrians. But when they came to the edge of the camp of the Assyrians, behold, there was no one there. For the Most High had made the army of the Assyrians hear the sound of chariots and of horses, the sound of a great army. So they said to one another, behold, the king of Israel has hired against us the kings of the Hittites, the kings of the Egyptians, to come against us. So they fled away in the twilight, and they abandoned their tents, their horses, and their donkeys, leaving the camp as it was, and fled for their lives. So ultimately, what this is saying is that they had just became some wealthy men because they got their pickings of all those things. And when these lepers came to the edge of the camp, they were into a tent and ate and drank, and they carried off silver and gold and clothing and went and hid them. Then they came back and entered into another tent and carried off things from it and went and hid them. Then they said one to another, we are not doing right. Sometimes you can do evil things, but when the Most High speaks to you through your conscience, you have to recognize it as the Most High. It says, this day is a good day of good news. If we are silent and wait until the morning light, punishment will overtake us. They had enough sense to realize that. Now, therefore, come, let us go and tell the king's household. So they came and called to the gatekeepers of the city and told them, we came into the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was none to be seen or heard, but nothing but the horses tied and the donkeys tied and the tents as they were. Then the gatekeeper called out, and it was told within the king's household. And the king rose in the night and said to his servants, I will tell you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we are hungry. Therefore, they have gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the open country, thinking, when they come out of the city, we shall strike them alive and get into the city. And one of his servants said, let some men take 5 of the remaining horses, seeing that those are here will fare like the whole multitude of Israel, who have already perished. Let us send and see. So they took 2 horsemen, and the king sent them after the army of the Syrians, saying, go and see. So they went after them as far as the Jordan, and behold, all the way was littered with garments and equipment, and the Assyrians had thrown away in their haste, and the messengers returned and told the king. Then the people went out and plundered the camp of the Syrians. So a seah of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 seahs of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Most High. Now the king had appointed the captains over whom he had learned to have charge over the gate, and the people trampled in the gate so that he died, as the man of Ha Elohim had said. He said to that man, you won't get to enjoy it. And that man died. He also said that tomorrow at this time, flour going to be sold for extremely low price, but you won't get to enjoy it. And guess what? He didn't get to enjoy it. He died. But when the man of Ha Elohim have said to the king, 2 seahs of barley shall be sold for a shekel, and a seah of fine flour for a shekel, about this time tomorrow in the gate of Samaria. The captain had answered the man of Ha Elohim, if the Most High himself should make windows in heaven, could such a thing be? And he said, you shall see it with your own eyes, but you shall not eat of it. And so it happened to him. And the people trampled him in the gate of the field, and he died. May the Most High be praised. All right, we're going to stop there. Are there any questions or comments, family? Yes, the servant of the king. Yes, because he didn't believe that the Most High was going to do these things. So yes, he died. So this is something for you all to know and to remember and acknowledge. If the Most High sends you word that something's going to happen, best believe that it's going to happen. And it's going to happen just as he said. Are there any other questions or comments, family? Anyone? Any questions or comments? Yes, the kingdom is still split. Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, we're going to close it out with prayer. No. The answer is no. I don't know who it was. It doesn't say. Do we have anybody to volunteer to close us out with prayer today? Okay. Okay. Wonderful.
Hello, y'all. Hello, y'all. I pray that everyone please face the east towards Jerusalem. Holy are you, O Most High, our King, our power and glory. We ask permission, O Father, our Abinu, to approach unto your throne. Our King and our Master, our Abinu, our Father, unto you we give all glory, all honor, all praise, all of everything. Creator, on your Shabbat day, we thank you for allowing us to be able to gather and read from your word. Thank you for blessing my Ish with the words in his mind and heart to read the scriptures that we have today. Thank you for blessing him with the knowledge that he has to answer your people's questions, to guide your people in the way of righteousness as the best he can, Most High. Thank you for blessing this Shabbat day. And I pray that we have and are keeping it holy to the best of your ability, best of our ability, and pleasing you, so that you may find it acceptable. Oh, Most High, please forgive us of our uncleanness, Most High. Some of us are unclean for different reasons, Most High, but we pray that you please forgive us for each and every one of our uncleanness, mind, heart, body, and soul. Please wash us clean daily, O Most High. Protect us daily, keep us daily, so that way we may be the best version of ourselves, Creator. We know that tomorrow, slackly, tomorrow is not promised, O Most High, for you know the number of our days on this earth. And we just pray, I pray, Father, for all of us, all our people, that we may be the best we can be so that we can leave this earth when it comes time for you to say so. We leave this earth um, with the blueprint, with making our mark and pleasing you most high, most of all. Oh, Creator, we thank you for this Shabbat day. Thank you for all the people that have, or the elders that have been a part of it, the ones that are hearing now, and the ones that are hearing this class later on. May anybody who hears this lesson be a part of this lesson, and may it be a blessing unto their ears, Creator. Whatever has sparked the curiosity, both sides. Please keep that curiosity going as we plant the seed, but please water that seed and let it grow within each and every one of us so that way we may be your people again. Well, we are your people, but a better version of your people, the best version that we may return unto thee, O Most High, to your land, to our land, representing you in the earth, setting the earth right. Most High, because we know there's a lot of wicked things going on in the earth, a lot of spiritual battles, a lot of people in high places that are trying to kill us, Creator. And we pray, Father, for your protection and your knowledge, so that we may defeat them, that we may return unto you and be put in our high position as you see fit. Most High, please allow all of our loved ones, all of our friends that know themselves as Israelites or don't, be blessed in your name, O Most High. May your name reign forevermore in our minds, our bodies, our souls. May you always be put first in our lives. And for those of us all of us who struggle to put you first in different areas of our lives, reveal it to us, Most High, and please allow your spirit of strength to come upon us so that way we may make the changes necessary. Creator, may your name be blessed forevermore on this day and all days. Please keep us as we go through the rest of this Shabbat, this holy Shabbat day. Keep us into the night and please keep us throughout the night so that we may wake up in the Boker to praise your name once again. Thank you for this holy Shabbat day, Most High. May your name reign forevermore. Toda Rabbah Abi, our Most High Creator, our Avinu. Toda Rabbah. Selah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
God be praised. Tell her about. All right, family. If there are any further questions, any other comment, got trampled at the Black Friday rush. What Black Friday rush? I guess that was this week. I pray that you are all right.
Black Friday is usually the
I think
after Thanksgiving. That's when you get all the Xmas deals. So they call it Black Friday. And people do get trampled there because it's like a rush to buy all this stuff.
yeah.
Really
I thought AIM was making a reference.
I think she was, but
a reference to whoever got trampled just now in scripture, the servant.
Yeah, I think she was. I was just
he got trampled at the rush. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's a good analogy. May the Most High be praised. All right. Thank you all for coming out. May the Most High be with you all. Is there any announcements we need to make?
No, not that I could think of right now.
No announcements? Okay. Thank you all for coming out and spending your Shabbat day with us. May the Most High be with you all, protect you all, strengthen you all, and bless you all. If there's any other comments, we still have time. You can mention your comment before we close it out. If not,
go ahead.
Creator willing, we'll see you all next Shabbat. Go ahead, Emma.
The only thing that I would request is for those who are interested in any way to support us or the school, that you can visit the school's website. I'll put it in the chat, and that way you can see what the school has going on and how to support us or be at any of our upcoming school events.
Hallelujah.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Beulah land at Temple Kefar Yim.
This is for the people in the front and the back. Going through the gate. You had a lot to do. You know you got a lot on your plate.
We are Beulah Land at Temple Kefar Yim, a community, a school, a family of faith working to build something greater together. Our mission is simple but powerful: to restore, to teach, and to grow. Here at Beulah Land, we bring together the vision of Temple Kefar Yim with hands-on action.
Stop it. You got it. You got it. Yeah, you got it. Keep on.
Through our Goshen Hebrew Academy, we teach our children the Hebrew language, history, and principles that ground us in our faith. We celebrate Shabbat services and holy days with joy, keeping our culture and traditions alive for generations to come. Our work also reaches beyond the classroom. We focus on community growth, agriculture, training, and safety, building a place where families can learn, worship, and thrive. The name Beulah Land comes from scripture, representing covenant, renewal, and a people restored to their land and purpose. That is exactly what we are doing here, restoring faith, culture, and community life. But we can't do it alone. If our mission speaks to your heart, we invite you to support us. You can give through Cash App or PayPal at Build Yisrael, or learn more at www.GoshenHebrewAcademyTempleKefaryim.org. Feel free to contact us at beulahland@templekefaryim@gmail.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and even become a member to stay connected and help spread our message of faith and restoration.